1 minute to go. Lucius. Tanzania High Commission London, can you unmute, please?
Waheshimiwa wageni waalikwa, mabibi na mabwana, na wasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Awali ya yote ni wakaribisheni wote katika mkutano wetu huu muhimu ambao utaangazia namna ya kufaidika na fursa mbalimbali za ufadhili wa elimu ya juu. Nianze tu kwa kusema kwamba huu ni mwendelezo wa juhudi ambazo zinafanywa na ubalozi wetu wa Tanzania hapa Uingereza na Jamhuri ya Ireland katika kutafuta fursa mbalimbali kwa ajili ya Watanzania. Kama itakumbukwa, tarehe 13 mwezi Januari tulikuwa na mkutano kama huu ambao unaangazia sekta ya afya, lakini leo ni zamu ya Wizara ya Elimu. Kwa hiyo tumekutana kwa lengo moja tu, na kuweza kupeana taarifa mbalimbali juu ya uwepo wa fursa hizi za scholarship katika eneo letu hili la mwakilishi, kwa maana ya falme ya Uingereza na Jamhuri ya Ireland. Kwa hiyo kwa kifupi, tumeweza kualika watoa mada mbalimbali ambapo baadaye tutapata fursa ya kuweza kuwasikia, lakini wanajumuisha kutoka taasisi mbalimbali. Tunao watu kutoka Commonwealth Scholarship, lakini tunao wawakilishi kutoka Chevening Scholarship, tunao watu kutoka Irish Government Scholarship, Mastercard Foundation Scholarship, Marshal Parpwoth Scholarship. Kwa hiyo hawa ndio tumeweza kuwaalika ili waweze kutoa mada mbalimbali kuhusiana na taarifa hizo. Kwa hiyo niwe wazi tu kwamba leo ni kwa ajili tu ya kuweza kupokea taarifa hizo. Hakutakuwepo na session ya maswali na majibu. Kwa hiyo tungeweza kupendekeza wale wote ambao wenye maswali basi waweze kuweka katika chat, na tutakusanya timu yetu ya IT hapa kwa ajili ya kuweza kukusanya maoni hayo, na tutaweza kupanga session hiyo muda mwingine ambao tutakuwa na siku maalum kwa ajili tu ya kuweza kujibu hoja hizo. Kwa hiyo leo ni mahususi kwa ajili ya kuweza kupokea taarifa mbalimbali kutoka katika scholars kama nilivyoweza kuzitaja. Kwa hiyo baada ya kusema hivyo, niseme tu kwamba baada ya presentation hizo tutapata fursa vile vile ya kuweza kusikia ushuhuda kutoka kwa wanufaika wa scholarship mbalimbali ambao tumeweza kualika, ambao na wao watapata fursa ya kuweza kueleza ni namna gani wanaweza kunufaika na scholarship hizi. Kwa hiyo sasa nirudi kwa moderator mwenzangu Bi Messi Pitonga aweze kufanya recap ya haya niliyozungumza kwa lugha ya Kiingereza ili wageni wetu waweze kuweza kufuatilia. Baada ya hapo atachukua jukumu la kumkaribisha mheshimiwa balozi ambayo atatoa neno lake na hatimaye kuweza kumkaribisha mgeni wetu rasmi ambaye ni mheshimiwa waziri wa elimu, sayansi na teknolojia aweze kutoa neno la ufunguzi kabla tukianza rasmi uwasilishaji wa mada. Imese Kitonga, tafadhali.
Asante sana kaka Mtanda. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon from London and good evening in Tanzania. To reiterate what my fellow moderator has just said, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you who have been able to join us. We hope that this will be the first in many such webinars that will share information on scholarship opportunities for higher education available in the United Kingdom and Ireland. And I would like to take a moment to thank all of you, and especially the presenters and the Minister for Education, Science and Technology for joining us. We know you have very busy schedules, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us. As my predecessor moderator has informed, we'll be receiving presentations from different scholarship granting entities to include the Commonwealth, the Chevening, the Julius Nyerere Scholarship from Edinburgh, Mastercard Foundation, and the Marshal Parpwoth Scholarship offered by Harper Adams University. We will also be able to hear testimonials, actual experience of alumni, as well as current scholarship holders, sharing their experience on how their journey progressed from requesting to actually successfully gaining a scholarship and coming to study in London, and what happens after as well. I appreciate that there's a lot that we are waiting to hear, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. So without further ado, allow me to welcome His Excellency Mbello Kairuki, the High Commissioner of Tanzania to the United Kingdom, to give a short welcome remarks. Mheshimiwa Ubalozi, karibu.
Thank you, Mercy. Honorable Professor Adolf Mkenda, our Minister for Education, distinguished panelists, alumni of different universities, scholars, and all the participants, fellow Tanzanians, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this August gathering of what we hope will be the first in a series of webinars and seminars that aim at sharing information on the many education and scholarship opportunities that are available in the United Kingdom and Ireland for the Tanzanian youth, aspiring scholars, and the general public. I thank Honorable Minister for sparing time out of his very busy schedule. I know now it's a parliamentary session going on, but still he has managed to join us. We really, really appreciate. And indeed, his presence is a clear testimony of his commitment to advancement of our youth in the education sector. Today's seminar comes from the realization that while there are many opportunities for education and scholarships in the United Kingdom and Ireland, the number of Tanzanians aware of these opportunities and able to access and benefit from them remains negligible at best and almost non-existent in most cases. I've had opportunities to visit different universities in the UK, and in all the universities that I've visited, the number of Tanzanians is very, very limited. And many reasons have been ascribed to this deplorable turnout, the most common being the language barrier and insufficient knowledge about scholarship opportunities and how to access them. Therefore, today's webinar seeks to address this knowledge gap by sharing vital information on what opportunities are available, how to access them, and how best to prepare to contend and most likely successfully access these scholarship opportunities. The seminar likewise addresses the myth that it is not easy to get scholarship. We will hear the testimonies of successful Tanzanian applicants of this scholarship and some alumni who have completed their studies under the auspices of these scholarships. They will provide insight on how to apply, how to prepare for interviews, how to write good personal statements, and so on. And upon conclusion of this seminar, we hope to see a significant higher applicant turnout for scholarships and more Tanzanian students in the UK and Ireland universities in the upcoming semesters and years. The onus is upon you to listen, adapt, and change our destinies. Let me conclude my remarks by extending our deepest gratitude and appreciation to our distinguished speakers and participants who have taken time to join us and are willing to share their knowledge of scholarship and other support opportunities available to qualifying Tanzanians in the United Kingdom and Ireland. I also sincerely thank my colleagues, His High Commissioner David Conker of the United Kingdom and Ambassador Mary O'Neill of Ireland for fully supporting this initiative. I also thank the Commonwealth Scholarship Council, the Mastercard Foundation, the Chevening Scholarship Secretariat, Edinburgh University, Harper Adams University, and the many alumni and scholars who have invested time and effort and joined us today. My appreciation likewise goes to our partner in the broadcasting and hosting of this event, the Clouds Media Group, whose effort ensure that we reach and impact a wider audience back home in Tanzania. I know you are all eager for the webinar to commence. Allow me to welcome our guest of honor, Professor Adolf Mkenda, Minister for Education, Science and Technology, to officiate this August gathering. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa Waziri. Asante.
Thank you very much. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Balozi Mbelwa Kairuki. I'll start brief statement in Kiswahili and then very brief in English so that we get started. Mheshimiwa Balozi wetu Mbelwa Kairuki, pamoja na timu yako yote, Messi Kitonga na wote mlioko hapo, mkurugenzi wa elimu ya juu Profesa Msofe ambaye naye yuko ameungana na sisi, washiriki wote wa webinar hii, habari za saizi.
Salama Mheshimiwa.
Kwanza kabisa napenda kushukuru sana ubalozi wetu chini ya kuhakikisha kwamba sote tunapata uelewa mpana zaidi wa fursa zilizopo za kwenda kusoma nje. Serikali kwa kweli ingependa ione Watanzania wengi zaidi wanatafuta elimu popote duniani. Kwanza kwa sababu yapo maeneo mengi tu ambayo bado sisi hatujafika viwango vinavyotakiwa, kwa hiyo tunapaswa kwenda katika nchi nyingine kwenda kujifunza. Asiyetambua kwamba yapo mambo ambayo hawezi kuendelea, na lazima tukubali kwamba sisi tuna mapungufu katika elimu yetu. Yapo maeneo mengi tu ambayo tungependa kwenda kujifunza kwa wenzetu kwa ajili ya kuja kujenga nchi yetu. Lakini pili, tunahitaji watu waione dunia. Wakati mwingine tunashindwa kuchukua fursa mbalimbali duniani kwenye mashirika ya kimataifa, kampuni ya kimataifa, kwa sababu ya kutokuzoea tu kuishi na watu wa mataifa mbalimbali na kuishi katika tamaduni za aina mbalimbali. Kwa hata katika yale mambo ambayo unaweza kujifunza hapa nyumbani, kwenda kujifunza katika nchi nyingine, Uingereza kwa mfano, ni fursa nzuri sana ya kujijengea uwezo wa kuweza kushirikiana na watu wa aina mbalimbali. Fursa za ajira duniani sasa hivi lazima tuzione kwamba dunia yote ni uwanja wa ajira kwa Mtanzania yote. Usijaribu kuangalia tu ndani ya mipaka yetu, kujua kwamba tunaweza tukaenda tukafanya kazi mahali pengine popote duniani. Kinachotuzuia sisi kwenda huko wakati mwingine ni kuwa na uoga wa kukaa na tamaduni za aina mbalimbali, kuongea lugha za watu, ni kujichanganya vizuri. Kwenda kusoma mataifa ya nje kunatusaidia sisi kuweza kuchangamka vizuri zaidi. Nchi za nje ikiwa ni kama Marekani kwa mfano, ambao ndio taifa lenye uchumi mkubwa kuliko yote duniani, bado linatuma vijana wake kwenda kusoma, wanakuja mpaka Tanzania kuja kutafuta elimu, sembuse sisi katika viwango vyetu. Kwa nashukuru sana Mheshimiwa Balozi kwa fursa hii ambayo kwa kweli tutaipigia chapuo, na napenda sana ni kuhakikishie kwamba tunaunga mkono 100% na tutafanya kila liwezekanavyo kuhakikisha kwamba fursa hii na fursa nyingine zote ambazo zipo huko duniani tunazichangamkia. Na sisi huku tuna mipango mingine tutaitangaza karibuni kwa ajili ya kuongeza tu fursa za watu kwenda kusoma nje, ambayo tutaianzisha sisi. Itakuwa ni kuchagua masomo ya kwenda kusoma hasa katika maeneo ya sayansi na mambo ya tehama. Lakini kwenye hili Mheshimiwa Balozi umesema vizuri, Watanzania bado hatuchangamkii hizi fursa. Hatuzichangamkii kwa sababu nyingi tu kama ulivyozisema, lakini sehemu mojawapo pengine watu hawajui umuhimu wa kwenda nchi za nje kwenda kuishi na kujifunza tamaduni za wenzetu na kujifunza kule. Lakini pili, hawajui hizi fursa zinapatikana vipi. Tutatoa maagizo hapa kwamba scholarship zote zinazoletwa hapa nchini, zinazopitia utumishi, zinazopitia mambo ya nje na zinazokuja Wizara ya Elimu, kuwe na eneo moja tu, mtu akitaka kuzijua ataziklik na kuzipata, ikiwa ni sehemu ya kupunguza kutokuelewa hizi fursa zilizopo. Kwa hiyo nawashukuru sana kwa jitihada hizi, tuko pamoja, tuendelee kufanya kazi. Na Balozi Mbelwa Kairuki, kama kawaida yako, umekuwa ni mtu wa kujaribu kupiga hatua moja mbele mahali popote ulipofika, na kupongeza sana, na tutakuunga mkono katika kazi hiyo unapotuwakilisha katika what they call St. James Court. So let me make a brief statement in English for the sake of participants, especially the presenters who do not as yet speak this global language called Kiswahili. I really want to applaud this initiative, particularly by our High Commissioner in London and his team, and all of you who have joined him in organizing this webinar. The government of Tanzania recognizes the importance of our youth going all over the world to seek knowledge. It is written in one of the holy book that seek knowledge from anywhere. And we think that our uptake in this area has been dismal. The initiative by our High Commission in London is an important step that we must support. And I want to assure all those who came forward to try to explain and give us an exposure about the opportunities that are available in the United Kingdom and the Republic of Ireland, that the government appreciate your effort, will support this initiative, and will work very hard to encourage our youth to seek education opportunities in the UK and Northern Ireland. And on our part, we are going to try to create an environment where knowledge about these opportunities can be quickly availed to the population in the country. And we are going to collect all the information about scholarships in the UK and elsewhere to make sure that one can get that information in our website. And we'll continue to make announcements in our media and social media to encourage people to go and study. I call upon those who are giving scholarships not to give up because of the dismal uptake, because at least we see now initiative and the effort to move forward. I will be in London, I think, for the World Education Forum. Your Excellency Bello Kairuk will be together. Maybe we'll have further discussions about this. Now, I don't want to take all the time because really what matters is for people to have an opportunity to hear the presentation and encourage them to participate. So I'll take a while to listen a little bit before I attend to other activities. So we are together in this. Sasa kazi iendelee. Asante sana.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa. I am not sure I need to recap that because we got a very concise recap from the Honorable Minister. Just allow me, on behalf of you all, to thank Honorable Minister for Education, Science and Technology, once again for joining us and for those wise words. With due recognition that this is the topic that has been very, very, very anticipated, I will just run you quickly through the presentations that are coming in a few minutes. We will start with the presentation from on Commonwealth, be followed by the Chevening, and then we'll hear about a unique scholarship opportunity from the Julius Nyerere Scholarship of Edinburgh University. We'll have a presentation on scholarships offered by the Irish government, the Mastercard Foundation, and the Harper Adams University, before moving on to testimonials. I take this opportunity to welcome our first speaker, Scholarship Program Officer, Mariam Goshal-Veli. Karibu sana.
Hello, thank you very much for introducing. Allow me to share my screen and I'll start the presentation. I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Hello, everyone, once again, and thank you for the host for inviting me and for hosting this webinar. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mariam, and I'm a program officer working for the Commonwealth Scholarship. In this presentation, I will cover topics such as information about Commonwealth scholarships, CSC development themes, value of the scholarship award, our programs, key dates, and eligibility. I will talk a little about the alumni network. First of all, I will start off with a little information about what are Commonwealth scholarships. Established by Commonwealth Education ministers under Commonwealth Scholarship Fellowship. Sorry, can you still see my screen?
Yes, Mariam, we still can.
Oh, sorry. Established by Commonwealth Education ministers under Commonwealth Scholarship Fellowship Plan in 1959 and funded by the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, Commonwealth Scholarships and Fellowships enable talented and motivated individuals who could not otherwise afford to study in the UK to gain knowledge and skills required to make a positive change and impact on the development priorities of their home country. The CSC awards around 700 scholarships and fellowships for postgraduate study and professional development each year, and each year with 1,600 scholars on award in total each year. Over 31,000 Commonwealth scholars and fellows have been funded through the CSC since 1959. Funding was also received from DFE for scholarships for high-income countries. About the development themes, Commonwealth scholarships are aimed at empowering future leaders across the Commonwealth to act as catalysts for sustainable development. They are intended to contribute to the UN Sustainable Development Goals and are awarded under 6 CSC development themes, which you can see on this slide. The themes are science and technology for development, strengthening health systems and capacity, promoting innovation and entrepreneurship, strengthening global peace, security, and governance, strengthening resilience and response to crises, access, inclusion, and opportunity. What do Commonwealth scholarships offer? This would be a very interesting topic to all the potential candidates, I think. Commonwealth Scholarship offers the following financial support for all the scholars: fully funded study at a UK institution, visa and travel costs for awardees traveling to the UK, additional financial support including family allowance and disability support, opportunities to meet other scholars and build meaningful relationships, opportunity to join the Leaders in Sustainable Development program to support academic or professional development, collaboration across a global alumni network. It is also very important to note that we are committed to a policy of equal opportunity and non-discrimination. The CSC wants to identify talented individuals who have the potential to make change. We believe that the more diverse our scholars are, the greater the impact their research will have. The CSC is also committed to support outreach activities and to encourage scholarships for people with disabilities and in subject areas related to the rights of people with disabilities. We work with disabled people's organizations to encourage participation, assist with applications, nominate applicants, and identify where better support for candidates with disabilities is required to achieve greater inclusion. To talk more about the programs that are available under CSC. CSC has 7 unique scholarship programs offered across the Commonwealth. CSC programs include Commonwealth PhD scholarships. These scholarships are for full-time doctoral study at a UK university for applicants from least developed countries and fragile states. Commonwealth split-side scholarships for PhD candidates to spend up to 12 months at a UK university as part of their doctoral studies in their home country. Commonwealth Master scholarships for a full-time master study at a UK university. Commonwealth shared scholarships for full-time master study on selected courses jointly supported by UK universities. Commonwealth distance learning scholarships for part-time master study by distance learning on selected courses offered by UK universities. Also, professional fellowships are for mid-career professionals from low and middle-income Commonwealth countries to spend at a UK host organization on a program of professional development. And lastly, Commonwealth PhD scholarships, which are DFE funded for full-time doctoral study at a UK university for applicants from high-income countries. Citizens of Tanzania are eligible to apply for all the mentioned programs, excluding the last one, which is a DFE funded for high-income countries. For more information about the scholarships and fellowship opportunities, including eligibility criteria and how to apply, we have all the detailed information on our website. You can also see information here about the opening dates or periods and closing times for different programs. Please do bear in mind that applications to the CSC must be made using the CSC's online application system. The CSC is unable to accept any applications or documentation not submitted via the online application system. And as you can see on the table presented are master's and PhD scholarships, as well as the shared master scholarship applications have already closed for the academic year 2024-2025. They will reopen from September 2024 onwards. However, the distance learning scholarships and professional fellowships will soon open again for this academic year, and everybody is welcome to apply. For the full details about these scholarships and application process, do see more information about this on our website. And in terms of eligibility, the main documents that we require are proof of citizenship, transcripts with a first degree of at least second class upper division, or a degree of second class second division plus a master's degree. Also, degree certificates have to be submitted and at least 2 references on a letterhead and with a signature. You can read about our eligibility criteria in more detail on the website as well. As for the selection criteria for the scholarship applications will be considered according to the following selection criteria, as you can see on the slide: academic merit of the candidate, quality of the research proposal, and potential impact on the development of the candidate's home country. Also, I will talk a little bit about the alumni network. Upon finishing their scholarship or fellowship, Commonwealth alumni join a thriving global community of Commonwealth alumni who are working across a range of sectors and fields, affecting real change and development impact at a local, national, and international level. The CSC Alumni Network provides opportunities for alumni to stay connected and share their work and development impact. Activities include Development in Action webinar series, Alumni Community Engagement Fund, CSC Research Impact Awards, Alumni Advisory Panel, and also publications including Commonwealth Knowledge Magazine and Development Impact Stories. I hope this has been helpful and informative for everyone. If you should have any additional queries or questions, as I have mentioned before, we have a very extensive information available on all of our scholarship on our website, the link which you can find on this last slide. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope this has been helpful.
Thank you, Mariam, for the presentation. Unfortunately, we lost some of the slides in the middle, but we are going to send a link to all our participants after. So I think they will be able to use the slides for reference.
That's good.
Can I now welcome Mr. Sylvester Ernest from the British High Commission to present on the Chevening scholarships.
Thank you very much, Mercy. Please allow me to first introduce myself, and then I'll share screen. So my name is Sylvester Ernest Mavwawa. I currently work as a senior political officer at the British High Commission in Dar es Salaam. So I'm presenting on behalf of the Chevening Scholarship, but I also happen to be a beneficiary of this scholarship. Very happy to see a few faces that I know, including His Excellency Mberwa Kairuki, who is also a beneficiary of this scholarship. So I'll take you through a few slides. And then if there is any question, I'll be happy to answer. As you can see people online, perhaps there'll be a few questions. So I'll be online checking after my presentation so that we can all be on the same page. Can you see my slides? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so what is the Chevening? What is Chevening? So this is a scholarship offered by the UK government, like the Commonwealth Scholarship. This is also offered by the UK government through the FCDO. This is the ministry, basically the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the United Kingdom. So it seeks to help future leaders attain higher learning in the UK. So you are actually free to apply and go to any UK university. And if you are able to get an opportunity at any UK university, that means we are able to give you the scholarship. That means you also qualify to get the scholarship. There are a few criteria which I'll be mentioning as we go along, but basically, if you can get an opportunity at a UK university, then you can get this scholarship as well. So who should apply? Well, anyone, provided you have your first degree, provided you are accepted at a UK university, but more importantly, if you assure us that after your studies, you'll be coming back home, because this scholarship seeks actually to help Tanzanians attain higher learning education in the UK, but come back home and help the country. So you need to assure us that you will be coming back home after your studies. So here are a few eligibility criteria. Like I said, you have to be one of the citizens, or you have to be a citizen of one of more than 160 Chevening eligible countries or territories. Tanzania is one of them. You can have a second degree, actually. We are saying here that you need to be having an undergraduate degree, but it's okay if you have a master's degree as well. If you want to get another master's degree, then this is for you. So you need to have at least 2 years of work experience. And what do we mean when we say work experience? At least 2 years since you left your undergraduate degree. So you might be employed, you might be self-employed, you must be volunteering, you might be volunteering somewhere, you are eligible. More importantly, because this scholarship seeks to help future leaders, you have to demonstrate outstanding future leadership potential. So you need to know, we are seeking actually to help people who want to become leaders in different fields. I've had questions from Tanzanians asking about this criteria. Some people think when we talk about becoming a leader, we are talking about people who want to join politics or government. No, you can be a leader in the media, you can be a leader in CSOs, in the private sector, etc. So what does this scholarship cover? A fully covered tuition fee. Fully covered tuition fee. There is a star there, if you can see. There is actually a provision where there is a global Chevening cap fee of £22,000 for MBA programs that requires you to cover an additional cost. We can explain more about this in privately, but basically we cover full tuition fee for the university that you will be going. But we also give you stipend. This is a living allowance. And it depends on where actually you'll be going. If you are in London, your stipend might be higher compared to someone who is out of London. An economy return flight to the UK. So some people have been asking whether in between their studies, they want to come back home for holiday or for leave, whether we'll be able to, to fund their flight. No, we are giving you a return flight. So this is when you are going to the UK and when you are coming back. If you want to come home in between, you can fund that for yourself. But we also give additional grants to cover essential expenditures. If it's research, then you can speak to your program officer. If you feel ill, seriously ill, or any social problem that requires the UK government's attention, then speak to your program officer and he or she will be able to have you sorted. So what else can you gain from a Chevening Scholarship? Well, this is a program which offers more than you going to a lecture room. There are a series of other activities which are arranged by the UK, the Chevening Secretariat, for you to be able to experience more stuff happening in the UK, but also network with other Cheveners coming from across the globe. But also we offer internship opportunities. I know a lot of people who had opportunities to do internship at, for instance, the BBC. But you become one of ours, one of the members of the global network, which consists of more than 55,000 change makers, which includes senior leaders in government. We have high commissioners, as you will see, but we have had a president who was also a member of the Chevening Scholarship. So this scholarship started about 40 years ago. As we speak, we have more than 55,000 beneficiaries who are spread across the world. So they include innovators working in different fields, people in climate change, people in championing gender equality, people working in journalism, in politics, in law, in business, and many other fields that you might know. In Tanzania, over 40 years, we have had more than 300 proud alumni who have a strong network and make an impact in their fields. Who are the notable Chevening alumni that we have in Tanzania? Perhaps you can see from the screen. Some few faces that you might know. What about here? His Excellency Mberwa Kairuki is one of ours. His Excellency Togorani Mavura, one of ours. Karo Ndosi, and many others. Many others. So what is the application timeline? As we speak, the application window is closed. Actually, starting this month, February, we'll be running the interviews for the next scholars. The application window opens in September. So those who are online, please mark the dates. September, the application window opens and it runs for about 2 to 3 months. You will get all this information through our networks. We do the initial sifting in November, but by February, we shortlist those we will call for interview. The interview period is between February and April, and by June or July, you get to know whether you're successful or not. In September or October, depending on the calendar of the university that you will be going, you will be able to be in the UK, if you are successful, that is. There are a lot more information about Chevening Scholarship. We ask you to subscribe or follow our networks. Hashtag choose Chevening, but also at UK in Tanzania, in Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, but also we have our website, which offers all the information that you require about the scholarship. The website is www.chevening.org. You'll be able to learn more about the scholarship. But like I said, in case you have any questions, post them on the chat bar, and I'll be able to answer a few of those. Thank you very much.
Asante sana kaka Sylvester. And indeed, save the date for the next Chevening interviews. The next presenter will be Dr. Hazel Gray from Edinburgh University, and she'll be presenting on a scholarship that is very close to our hearts. It honors the founding father of our nation, the late Julius Kambarage Nyerere. Karibu sana, Dr. Hazel.
Asante sana. Habari za jioni. I'm very delighted to be here today, and I applaud this initiative to raise awareness about scholarships across the UK and Ireland. And I'm particularly honoured to be here on behalf of the University of Edinburgh and the Centre of African Studies to talk to you today about a particular scholarship that is open to Tanzanian applicants, the Nyerere Scholarship. So I'm going to share my slides now. Mercy, can you confirm that those are visible to everybody?
Yes, Dr. Gray, we can definitely see them.
Okay, thank you very much. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be talking about a particular scholarship, the Julius Nyerere Scholarship at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. So the University of Edinburgh is a very old university in the UK, established 425 years ago. It's one of the top universities in the UK. It's currently ranked 16th in the QS World University Ranking. And as well as being one of the top academic universities in the world, we pride ourselves in being a very international university with students from every single continent. We are in the top 20 most international universities in the world. So students who come to study with us not only have the experience of living and studying in Scotland, but also have the opportunity to make connections with over 13,000 international students, as well as students from the UK. The university has long and deep connections with the African continent. The first African graduate from the university was in 1859, James Africanus Horton from Sierra Leone. But of course, for many of you, you may know that Mwalimu Julius Nyerere was a student here. He came in the 1940s with a scholarship himself, and he studied here with us, and he gained his degree in 1952. We are very proud of that connection, and in the building where I am sitting today, as you enter the building, there's a large plaque at the door which honors his name. And we have been keen to celebrate that connection. But so we have students from Tanzania at the university, but we also have, can everyone hear me? I can hear another voice on the line. Are you still hearing me okay? Are you still hearing me okay? So we have many students from different African countries, 1,100 students currently at the university from Africa. And we have a huge alumni network across the continent from 45 African countries, so over 2,600 alumni. And that makes an incredible network of graduates from the university in all areas of work and life across the continent of Africa. So, as I mentioned, Julius Nyerere is a graduate of Edinburgh University. He's probably one of our most famous alumni, and one of the, as well as being the first president of Tanzania, he is a towering figure within the global international relations and leading Pan-Africanism, and as a political thinker as well. Not only did he graduate from the university, but we have continued that relationship with him during his lifetime. So he was awarded an honorary degree on the independence of Tanzania in 1962, and he returned to Tanzania in the 1990s and received an honorary doctorate and gave some lectures to our students at that time. In 2022, the university hosted a celebration of the centenary of his birth, and that attracted many people from the UK with links to Tanzania, but also we were honored to host some of our colleagues from the University of Dar es Salaam and from the embassy. So before I get on to the specifics of the Nyerere Scholarship, I just wanted to make sure that everyone is aware that we have a huge range of scholarships at Edinburgh University for students from Africa, obviously including students from Tanzania. So I've presented some names of scholarships on this slide, and please do have a look at all of these. So we also have Chevening Scholarships. We have a Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program, which is very large in the UK. I know you're going to hear more about the Mastercard Foundation scheme at Oxford, but just to remind everyone that we also have many Mastercard Foundation scholars here at the Edinburgh University. So please also consider looking into that program if you would be interested and keen to come and study with us. So what about the Nyerere Scholarship? Well, the Nyerere Scholarship was set up to honour the link between the University of Edinburgh and Tanzania. It's available only to applicants who are Tanzanian and currently residing in Tanzania. And it's had different foci over the years. Currently, it's available to students to study an MSc in African International Development at the Centre of African Studies. So let me tell you a little bit about the Centre of African Studies. The Centre of African Studies is a world-leading centre for the study of Africa. We are the largest centre of African studies in Europe. We're an interdisciplinary study centre, which includes 2 PhD programs and 6 master's programs. We have about 300 students in total. And we were founded in 1962. And not only do we teach across the full spectrum of studies, we also host a very vibrant research community. And we seek to place African experiences at the center of interdisciplinary scholarship. So, we are listed as not only the largest, but we're always at the top of the UK Good University Guides. And we came the top in the UK research ranking for our area in the last research ranking. And the dual program for us is our MSc Africa and International Development. It is a very competitive program to get into because it's very popular and has avenues into a huge range of different areas of work. And our aim is really to kind of unpack the dynamics of change and development across Africa. So we look at social change, we look at economic change, we look at what inclusive growth means, and we look at governance and politics and how all of these factors interrelate to affect well-being and in the name of Nyerere freedom and development. So if you come to study this MSc with us, what you'll gain is a very deep interdisciplinary regional expertise on Africa. So obviously not just about Tanzania, but understanding the historical processes, understanding the interconnections between different African countries and the rest of the world. You also get a broader knowledge and insights into the field of international development, both in terms of theory and in terms of policy. And in terms of policy, we provide our students with a set of key skills to go on and work in various international or local organizations, whether that is the UN or an NGO. And we also provide critical and cutting-edge perspectives on key global challenges and their social context of health, climate change, water, conflict, just to name a few. So the core courses are three: politics and theories of international development research, design and practice, and governance, development and poverty in Africa. And our students also choose from a range of elective courses. I've just listed a few here, but we have a vast range of different courses that you can choose depending on your particular area of interest. So we provide a lot of contact time between staff and students. So that's one of the really unique things that you get at Edinburgh University. We have a lot of interaction between faculty and students, and we have a range of different assessments, from essays, group presentations, book reviews, policy reports. So we really try to ensure that our students develop skills that are relevant to the workplace when they move out of the MSc. And at the end of the taught part of the program, our students move on to do a dissertation, and many students who receive the merit or distinction in their courseworks are eligible for work-based placements. So this means that from June to September, you would actually be working with an international development organization, undertaking a piece of research with them, which gives you both access to develop your networks in the field, but also hands-on experience of international development. And we have placements in Tanzania, as well as other African countries across the UK and on other continents as well. So our students are really spread very widely and have this really unique opportunity to do a work-based placement. So I know that later on you're going to be hearing more about student views on this. So let me just cover very briefly some of the student experiences. In this picture, you see a group of our MSc students, and they're standing outside a Scottish house in the Highlands that we take our students to in a study retreat each year, where they get to develop study skills and also have a unique Scottish experience. Our students are incredibly international. So this is a picture of the distribution of our students, as you will see, from a range of African countries, European countries, and North America. So what about the entry requirements? Well, as I said, it is a competitive course program to be accepted on. We would expect students have to have a minimum of a 2-1 or above in an undergraduate degree. And the university requires demonstration of English language competency. So please do have a look at the university requirements if you would be interested in finding out more about those. There are various English language tests that the university accepts. And as with all of the programs in the UK, it's something which requires some advanced planning. So both the visa and the English language test, don't leave applications to the last minute, because these can take some time to organize. Finally, just to give you a little idea about what the application process involves. So applications open in October 2024 for students to start in September 2025. And as part of that application process, obviously, as I said, you'd need to have at least a 2-1 or a first in your undergraduate studies, and you'd need to have finished your undergraduate degree. And we require 2 personal statements from all applicants to the Mwalimu Nyerere Scholarship. So we would like you to write one statement about why you want to study Africa and international development, and another specific statement on why Mwalimu Nyerere's legacy is important to you. So we want to ensure that our Julius Nyerere scholars have reflected on Mwalimu Nyerere's important legacy and his thinking and work, so that we can continue to honour his link to the university. And the scholarship covers tuition fees and a bursary for living costs while you are studying here in Edinburgh. So I just want to say thank you once again to the Embassy and to everyone who's come along today. Please do consider the Nyerere Scholarship if that is of interest in your area, but also have a look at the wider range of scholarships that are available at Edinburgh University. Asanteni sana and karibuni sana.
Asante sana, Dr. Hazel, and particularly for informing us of other opportunities that are also available. Can we now get a presentation from Mr. Frederick Chiara?
Thank you, Dada Mese and the High Commissioner team for organizing this webinar. Let me just share my screen. All right, I hope everyone can see my screen now.
Yes, Kaka, we can.
Thank you. Just an introduction. My name is Frederick Chiara. I'm the fellowship officer here at the Embassy of Ireland in Dar es Salaam. And today my presentation is going to be brief. So I'm going to cover like the overall, because I want people to understand what is Ireland as a country. And also I'll be covering the benefit of studying in Ireland. I'll refer to some of the minister's statement that's saying Tanzania failing to compete in a global market. So one of the benefits will help you to compete in a global market. And I also talk about the Ireland Africa Fellowship Program, which is a master program that we manage here in the embassy. And I also cover the Erasmus Plus and the PhD opportunity that are available in Ireland. Just an overview of Ireland. Ireland is a country with approximately 5 million people. That means the population is less than the population of people in Dar es Salaam. And it uses Euro, and Ireland is an English-speaking country, which is a part of the European Union. And because the people speak English, so most of the cutting-edge companies that have made Ireland as their home for their Europe-based operations. And actually, it's an idea for someone from Tanzania to go to a country where everyone is speaking English for a study. Ireland has a beautiful contemporary cities and unspoiled countryside nature, which is good, and people can refer those who are studying the Harry Potter. Some of those places they are in Ireland. And Ireland has been named as the safest and the friendly country in the world. According to the 2013 Global Peace Index, Ireland was ranked number 3. That is 2013. So it's very safe and friendly, and people of Irish people are renowned for being very friendly and welcoming. So in brief, like, why should you study in Ireland and not other part of the Europe or elsewhere and in other part of the world? One of the things that Ireland has excellent academic standards. Ireland has a long-standing reputation with a high-quality education, which is built in a solid foundation for commitment to excel. And 80% of the university and colleges that are in Ireland are run by the government. And regularly, Ireland, the standard has been reviewed, and as the government run 80% of the universities, the government invest more in research, which made Ireland as well. You'll see in future how best it is performing in research. Another thing is that Ireland is a qualification that international recognized. That means they are recognized within the Europe as well as in the USA and Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. That means someone who graduated from Ireland University will be in a better place to compete in a global market. Not only thinking about coming back to Tanzania and compete in Tanzanian market, but you compete globally because the qualifications that you get from Ireland in Ireland are recognized globally. And so these are some of the cutting edge companies that have moved from elsewhere and make Ireland as their home. And that's over like 1/3 of these multinational companies that have been in Ireland for over 20 years. That shows that their resilience and commitment to Ireland, as well as longevity. And Ireland has been out of the 9 out of 10 companies in the best companies in technology in the world. 9 of them are in Ireland. Out of the top 10 pharmaceutical company in the world, all of them, all 10 are in Ireland. And the top 5 global companies in software companies, they're all in Ireland. As you can see, all these companies, they have their offices in Ireland. And as well as I mentioned before, the government of Ireland owns 80% of the university and colleges in Ireland. So the government has invested more in the higher learning institutions in Ireland, which made the higher learning institution to be the best in the world in the areas of researchers in different fields. And in different fields, and which make it like in immunology, Ireland is ranked the first one in immunology in the world, like, as well as the second one for agriculture science. And overall, Ireland in scientific research, it's ranked 12th position in the world. Now, another benefit of why you should study in Ireland is that you get to earn money as you study. If you're a full-time student for undergraduate degree, you can work up to 20 hours in a week and then get some money. If you are during the semesters, the holiday, you can work up to 40 hours. You don't need a permit. You just need a PPS number, which is like a social security number, which will allow you to work and earn money. This is an opportunity that you don't find in other countries, only in Ireland, that they allow you, although you're a full-time student, if you have some free times, you can work and earn some money, send some money back home to help the families, or use it to explore more other parts of the world during your free time. Also, Ireland has an opportunity for what we call a stay-back visa. So if you graduated in Ireland for a degree, which is a level 8 bachelor degree, you can stay in Ireland and work for 12 months. That is, you can stay in Ireland for 1 year. But if you graduated on a master level and PhD level, you can stay and work in Ireland for 2 years. Imagine working in those cutting-edge companies that I've shown you before for 2 years. So after 2 years or after 1 year, if it is an undergraduate, you will be able to compete globally in the global market. So you're not thinking about local anymore, about coming back to Tanzania and compete in Tanzania. You're thinking globally and compete in a global market. And so let me talk a little bit more about the Ireland Africa Fellowship Program for Tanzania, which we manage here at the embassy. The fellowship program, it's aimed at the future leaders to help Tanzania achieve sustainable development goals. And it is in line with our mission strategies, and it's fully funded. That means program fee is paid, all tuition fee is paid, everything is full paid. The flights, the visa, accommodation, and cost of living, they're all paid by the Irish government. And in Tanzania, for the priorities, focus area, we focus on applicants from gender equality and human rights, environment sustainability and climate action, as well as health and nutrition, also without forgetting management, technology, and innovation. So when is the application open to apply? Application normally opens every first week of July for the next academic year. That means on the first week of this year, first week of July, application will be open for 1 month for academic year 2025-2026. That means we'll be recruiting people that will be going to Ireland next year in the 25-26. A little bit about the application process. The application process normally covers different stages. It has like overall like 6 stages. The first stage is like a preliminary stage where you apply online and you submit your application to us for review. And we normally check the eligibility criteria. That one of them is that you need to be a resident of Tanzania. You need to have a degree because it's a master. So you need to have a bachelor degree. You need to have a GPA of 3.5 and above. Your degree should be acquired within 12 years from the day that you're applying. And you should be applying to get a fresh start of a master degree and not to just applying to get a fund to complete a master degree that you have already applied for. And then it goes to another stage, which is the English language stage, which is a requirement for higher learning institution in Ireland for every international student where English is not widely spoken, is not the first language that is spoken in that country, to have an English language test. And we normally support this English language test, whether it is a Duolingo that you do it online, we pay for everything, or if it's an IELTS test that we're doing with the British Council, it's all full covered. The third stage is the detailed application stage, where we want more information about you, and as well as it also included the motivation. Why did you apply, and why should we select you? Like, it's still a competitive process. So you need on a motivation, you need to shine and give us a reason why you are not the rest of the applicants. And the fourth stage is the interview, where we invite people to come for the interview here at the embassy, just to prove that what they have written is what they want, and to ask some more clarification to get to learn more about the applicants. And then if you are successful after the interview, you will be guided to apply for the higher learning institution in Ireland, and you'll be applied in 2 different institutions, 2 different courses. And then if you are successful, we'll pick your first choice. And then that's where the last stage is, where you'll be awarded a scholarship to go and study in Ireland. So a little bit about the process. On the personal information, you should be very comfortable to share your personal information, like the name, gender, nationality, the country of residence, because that's how also to help us to see if you qualify, because it's mainly for Tanzania and people who are residents in Tanzania. So if you are Tanzania and you're residents elsewhere, you don't qualify for this, because we want people who are Tanzania who can come back and help Tanzania achieve sustainable development goals, all those 17 sustainable development goals. And on education part, you need to have a bachelor degree, because you're going for a master, and a bachelor degree should be direct and relevant to what you're applying to. So the some of the master's degree, like a master's in accounting, you need to have a background in accounting, or engineering. You need to have a background in engineering. So we all look at those things. Are they direct and relevant to what you are applying? As well as the English language, which we normally support. You need to meet the minimum requirement for each course that you will be applying. So depending on the course that you have selected, they have also put the English score requirement. So you need to qualify to meet the requirements. Another thing is the work experience. You need to have a work experience which is direct and relevant to what you're applying. So and the work experience should be at least a minimum of 2 to 3 years, depending on the course. Like say, if you're an accountant, you should you're planning to go, let's say, masters in accounting. You need to have at least 2 to 3 years work experience as an accountant in order to be in a best position to apply for this. As well as your master choices should be direct and relevant to what you studied on your undergraduate. So if you studied engineering, then you should look for an opportunity to go and furthermore an engineering field, and not otherwise, in order to maximize the chance of getting a place in the university. As well as your motivation statements need to be clear. It need to be very convincing, and it need to be practical and reasonable, so that you can be selected. Also, other PhD and funding opportunity that are available. We have an Irish Research Council. That is the website. So I'll encourage people to go, for the benefit of time, just to go on that website. There are different funding opportunity for PhD. You can also visit Higher Education Authority website. There's also a funding for that as well, for PhD studies. And also, as communicated before, Ireland is part of the European Union, and our colleagues in the European Union, they have this scholarship, which is called Erasmus Plus. The Erasmus Plus is a scholarship that allows applicants to study in at least 3 different countries, in 3 different cities, in 3 different universities. And Ireland, being part of the EU, we were also in collaboration with the EU to study. So you might study like 1 semester in Ireland, another semester in another country, in another city in a European country, and another semester in another city in another country. So that's how the Erasmus Plus work. And for Erasmus Plus application will be open in the next 7 days. So I encourage people who wants to go for the masters to check the website, the Erasmus Plus, because application will be open soon in the next 7 days from today, and to see if they meet the criteria and apply. Just in brief, those are your contacts. So if you wish to study in Ireland, we have an organization called Education in Ireland. So you can visit Education in Ireland, has all the information about Ireland, our learning institution. All our learning institutions have been all linked in one website. I'll also encourage you all to visit the Ireland Africa Fellowship Program website, which the application will open first week of July, and to see and to hear some testimonial from fellows. Sorry? Yes. And lastly, if you have any question or concern, you can also visit our website, embassy website, the Embassy of Ireland in Dar es Salaam website, as well as please follow us on Twitter, because all the information, all this opportunity that comes, we normally share with the wider community through our X, or formerly known as Twitter. So I encourage you all to follow our Twitter account our X account for more information about more opportunities of studying in Ireland. Back to you, Mercy.
Thank you. That was very helpful. 7 days to go, guys, 7 days to go to an opportunity to study in Ireland. I would like to now welcome Sepiso for a presentation of the Mastercard Foundation. Sepiso?
Thank you very much, Mercy. And thanks everyone for making the time to attend this session. I think it's equally important that we share this information, but it's also very encouraging to see that people are out there looking for such opportunities. And it's an honor for me to talk about the Mastercard Scholars Program. Mercy, could you please just confirm that you can see my screen fine? Sorry.
We can.
All right.
Go
Awesome.
ahead.
Thank you. I'll go ahead. So my name is Sepiso Mwamelo. I'm based at the University of Oxford, and I work for the Africa Oxford Initiative. Today, I'll be talking about the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program because in addition to be based at the University of Oxford right now, the Mastercard Foundation funds and supports a various number of institutions and universities across the globe. And I will mention the UK EU partners on this call and encourage everyone to also have a look at other partners beyond the scope of the UK and EU, because there's a lot of other opportunities beyond the ones that I'll mention today. But before I get started, I also wanted to say that I am from Tanzania myself, and I'm an alumni of the University of Edinburgh, and I studied Africa and International Development, the exact program that Dr. Hazel was mentioning just a few moments earlier, and I can attest to everything that she said with regards to how holistic and how great of an experience it was there. So without further ado, I will start the presentation. So as I mentioned, there are various universities that are supported by the Mastercard Foundation within the UK. And one of them is the University of Oxford, which I will talk in great detail about today. But I also want to signpost all the attendees to have a look at the University of Cambridge, the University of Edinburgh, as well as Sciences Po, as these are the four institutions within the UK and the EU that offer Mastercard Foundation scholarships for postgraduate study. And I've attached a link just at the bottom of the slide, which will take you to the Mastercard Foundation's website. And there you'll see a bigger list of universities. There's a lot of partners within North America, within the African continent, and elsewhere. So as I'm going through this presentation, please don't limit the way that you think or don't feel that the opportunities are limited within the UK and these that I've mentioned below. But I'll just focus on the UK partners for today because of the scope of this webinar. So as colleagues have previously mentioned, the academic year within the UK starts from September each year. And so the applications are currently closed for the class that will be joining us in September. However, towards the end of the year, the applications will open and you'll be able to apply to any of these institutions. Now, while we're all supported by the Mastercard Foundation, it's important to note that the application processes vary between institution and institution, and I'll give an example of this. So for the University of Oxford and for Cambridge, the process is that you apply to the university, and once you get your offer, your admissions offer, then you're automatically considered for the scholarship. However, for Edinburgh University, as well as for Sciences Po, you apply to the Mastercard Scholarship first. And once you get your scholarship offer, then you're supported to apply to get admission to the university. And so what I would encourage everyone who's interested in applying for Mastercard Foundation Scholarship is to have a look at the various institutions and the eligible courses. I know we're at Cambridge, Edinburgh, and Sciences Po. There's a limited amount of courses that are covered under the Mastercard Foundation's program. And these are usually programs that have a strategic gearing towards supporting the development work on the African continent. And so it's important that you have a look at all the 4 institutions and decide which one provides or supports the course that you're keen to undertake, and then carry out with the application process. But at the University of Oxford, as I'll mention as well as we go through the presentation, we support any 1-year taught master's program. So whether that is theater, whether that's oncology, whether that's a master's in public health, you pick any course, any 1-year master's, and it's covered under the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program that we run at the University of Oxford. And just to mention that in as much as we have our eligibility criteria as the Mastercard Foundation and as the Scholars Program ourselves, we have a special interest in supporting scholars with refugee and displaced backgrounds. So if there's anyone on the call who is maybe perhaps worried about the various requirements of being a national of a certain country. So if you have refugee status right now, or if you're internally displaced, or you have any background of displacement, I encourage you to look at the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program in all our institutions, our partner institutions, as well as scholars who have disabilities. We are committed to ensuring that there is equitable access to our programs, and we welcome all scholars who have disabilities, and we have a great support program in place to ensure that all scholars feel that they're welcome and feel that they can access these opportunities. And finally, we welcome applications from female scholars. Of course, male scholars can apply as well, but I just wanted to mention because in some cases, and I think from our experience, we find that sometimes it's great to encourage female scholars because of various cultural considerations. Some people tend to judge themselves or to reject themselves before applying. So this is just to extend that warm invitation. And so I will start talking a little bit more now about the program at Oxford University, and it's called the Africa Oxford Initiative. So that's where I'm based right now at the moment. And I think in the alumni session, one of my colleagues, Ruth, who is currently doing a DPhil or PhD at Oxford University, will share a little bit more about this. So we are called the Africa Oxford Initiative for one reason, because we want to make Africa a strategic partner for Oxford University. So we found that a lot of institution will be called Oxford this, Oxford that. We specifically wanted to be Africa Oxford because we know that Africa as a whole is far greater in terms of scale of it than Oxford. And we want to make sure that there's a sense of urgency with regards to how Africa is construed as a strategic partner for the university. And on this picture here, I want to highlight 2 of our scholars. We have Flora, who is doing finance and mathematics, a master's in finance and mathematics, and Paul, who a lot of you perhaps might know, who is doing a master's in African studies. And this is our current cohort of scholars, and we have 2 flags represented. But my hope, obviously with a slight bias because I'm Tanzanian myself, is that we see a lot more Tanzanian scholars applying for these opportunities and eventually coming in. For this year, we're expanding. I think we're going to have 70 scholarship to study at master's level. And so please do apply so that next time maybe we can have a couple more flags in the photo that we have. So right now the applications are closed, but they will open towards the end of the year. And what I want to do in this presentation is mostly signposts where you can get a lot of information. It's important that you take some time to think and select a course that is aligned with your own personal goals and personal visions, as well as a course that complements the experience that you have. So I know that the application is not open yet, but I want to encourage everyone who's considering applying to use this time as a moment of reflection and introspection in exploring the various courses that are available and selecting one that complements your interest, as well as working towards strengthening some of those skills and some of the things that you need, like your personal statement, connecting with people who are doing that course by finding them on LinkedIn, for example, and using this opportunity to really build a case for why your to build a case for your application, so that when it's time to submit, you're not really stressed. And in June, starting from July and August, we have a mentorship program that's run by the African Society at the University of Oxford. And this is a program which matches current students and alumni with prospective students, so students who want to apply, and they will provide one-on-one help with regards to how to write an application. So, for example, if you are interested in doing a master's in public health, for example, we'll match you with a current scholar or alumni who has experience in a similar field, who can support you in writing your personal statement, as well as putting in the best application possible. I'll speak very briefly in Swahili, ili mnielewe vizuri. Hii mentorship program ina umuhimu mkubwa sana kwa sababu watu ambao tayari wameshafika katika fursa hizi wanaweza kukusaidia ili ujue jinsi ya kuandika ile application vizuri. And so ni kama dada zako na kaka zako ambao watakuwa na kusaidia sio kukufundisha, kukuelekeza jinsi ya kuandika application vizuri. I'll revert back to English going forward. So our application process is just 2 steps, but they are 2 very, very, they're 2 steps that will require a lot of time, a lot of introspection, and a lot of dedication. The first step is selecting the course and completing your application to the University of Oxford. And then once you do that, you will automatically be added to our list of the AFOC Scholarship Program, and we'll conduct a very brief interview with it's a panel interview, and then you'll be given your decision after attending that interview. So in order for you to get to the point where you're applying for the scholarship, you need to have your Oxford admission. And that's why I'm like trying to really, really mention the mentorship program, because that will help you put in the best application forward so that you'll pass the first hurdle, and then you can be interviewed for our scholars program. And also just to say that the deadlines are very different for each course. So we have December deadlines and we have January deadlines. So this would be for the class that will be starting in 2025 September. We'll have deadlines in December this year and January next year. But then the deadlines vary based on the department. So it's very, very important that you select the course that you want to apply for, and you check when the deadlines are, and you use this couple of months that are still available to really solidify your application, because Oxford University is a very competitive institution. There's a lot of people applying for the same program that you're applying for potentially. And so the fact that you're thinking about applying right now puts you at an advantage, because you have pretty much the whole year to really strengthen that statement of purpose, to really go through a reflective process yourself, and to really solidify the why you're applying, and also put in great application. And for the scholarship program, I think this goes for the wider Mastercard Foundation network. We're looking for scholars who have a commitment to the African continent. So because at the end, we're all here to do the same thing, more or less, which is to create basically an army of leaders who will transform the African continents. And so we are looking for students who have a commitment to Africa's development, and students who have exhibited leadership capacity and leadership skills within their communities. And leadership is very broadly defined. We're not necessarily looking for people who have been in various government positions, for example, uniquely. So we'll look at leadership very broadly. So whether it's leaders within organizations, leaders in entrepreneurial ventures, leaders in the wider, broader definition. And we're also looking for somebody who is aligned with the values of the Africa Oxford Initiative, as well as the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program in general. So we offer a very comprehensive program. It starts from before you arrive to Oxford, and it ends after you finish your studies here. So pre-arrival, we provide support with all the costs, and we know that these costs are significantly growing. So we provide visa, flights, NHS surcharge, and we onboard all the scholars through an online orientation, an online call get together, and we we have our student facilitators who will provide answers to very important questions. I think sometimes there's a lot of anxiety, for example, like mchicha unauzwa wapi in the UK and things like that. So we provide support in before you arrive, dealing with some of those anxieties and just making sure that the transition to the UK is seamless. And then upon arrival, the full tuition and stipend are covered. And so this is for all the courses, MBAs, basically any one-year master's course, we provide full tuition, and there's a stipend that is provided as well, a living stipend. And we have various events and opportunities to get on-course support. We have an orientation program that helps you transition into life in the UK. We do various retreats and like a myriad of events that you can attend to feel connected within the African community at Oxford, and even Oxford as the university, but also wider Oxford City. And then after you finish your master's program, we provide support in transitioning into meaningful work. So we also still help you connect with partners on the continent. We call this the Ubuntu period of service, where we pair you with an institution on the continent that will offer you a placement, and our folks will provide you with a stipend so that while you're on placement as well, you still can have a you can be compensated and remunerated. So we currently have a lot of students in different countries in the African continent. One of our alumni from Ghana right now is currently at Dalberg in Dar es Salaam. We have students moving, so you don't have to go back into your home country for your Ubuntu period of service. This is an opportunity for you to get international experience. A lot of our scholars try to work outside their home country as well, and we'll provide support in terms of flight, visa arrangements, as well as that living stipend while you're on placement. And what we want to do in this program is to ensure that every scholar that walks into the door receives extensive support. We understand that Oxford is a very, very competitive institution. It's very, very academically rigorous. There's a lot of challenges, and there's a lot of also a lot of I'm not trying to paint it as a very dark place. There's a lot of challenges, and there's also a lot of really nice things about the university. But we want to ensure that you're fully supported before you come to Oxford, during your time, and even afterwards, so that when you receive that qualification, you have a pathway to meaningful work and fulfilling work after you finish. So I'll stop here, and I'll avail myself for questions afterwards, but I just wanted to highlight links to some of our socials. And if there are any specific questions, please feel free to reach out to us beyond the scope of this webinar. And we'll be more than happy to provide additional information. And again, just to emphasize that please do not see this opportunity as unreachable. I think with some of these institutions, based on the reputation of the institution and of the university, it might seem like it's not reachable, but I just want to encourage you all to feel and believe deep inside that it is reachable and it is possible. And there's a lot more opportunities coming up this year. As I said, we're moving from 50 to 70 scholars to 70 positions for the next year. And so I want to encourage you all to apply, and to also keep a lookout on our mentorship program, which we advertised on our social media channels. And I think Mercy or somebody from the High Commission will share this presentation afterwards. Please scroll through all those links. Look at not just the University of Oxford, look at Cambridge, look at Edinburgh and Sciences as well as other partners that the Mastercard Foundation has, because there's a lot of opportunities out there just waiting for somebody like you to apply. Without further ado, and without saying too much, because I can keep going on and on, I'll stop here, Mercy, and hand back to you.
Asante sana, Dada Sipiso. Thank you for encouraging us and for that presentation. I think everyone has heard of the expansion of opportunities that are now open at the Mastercard Foundation, and I really hope that they do take advantage of them. Without taking up much more time, I would like to welcome Dr. Mitch Crook from Harper Adams University to present on the Marshal Parpwoth Scholarship.
Thank you very much, Mercy. Hopefully you can hear me all okay. And
We can.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. And just to confirm, can you see my screen? I don't know if you can yet. Yes.
Not.
Share. Here we are. Okay. Share. Okay. Okay. Can you share? Is my screen shut? It's the wrong screen at the moment. My apologies. Oh. Here we go. Bring this over.
Yep, we can see it now.
Okay, brilliant. My apologies for that. Yes, as I say, it's lovely to be here to present about the Marshal program, Parpwoth program. The whole point of the Marshal Parpwoth program is very much to look at agriculture. And what happens with Marshal Parpwoth is he was a UK farmer who unfortunately died too young. But because he was so intensively linked with Africa and valued the people there, when he died, he left his legacy. And his legacy was very much to look into sustainable development and value education as much as he could. So when he had his untimely death, the Marshal Parpwoth Foundation was set up. And when the Marshal Parpwoth Foundation was set up, the whole point was to educate African primarily students in Britain. And with that in mind, they have these scholarships which are available. There's a whole host of information on the Marshal Parpwoth program, which you can see available here if you click on that link. And as you know, Mercy will share the PowerPoints later with you. Okay, so the next aspect is regarding the scholarships themselves. As I mentioned, these are linked very much to agricultural development. So they're specific to people who want to study at a UK university that specialises in agriculture, of which Harper Adams is one. I have the link here to what the scholarship opportunities are. So if I move along, make this larger. My apologies. And so at Harper Adams, I can speak most about Harper Adams because this is the university of which I'm from. The agricultural programs which we are involved with include integrated pest and disease management, entomology, and agricultural sciences and production systems. As I've mentioned, Marshal Parpwoth partnered with a number of universities, all in the land-based sector. So this includes Whittle Agricultural College, or University College as it is now, Aberystwyth University, Reading, Bangor, Cranfield, the Royal Agricultural University as well. So they all offer scholarships associated with Marshal Parpwoth. Now, the key point is if you are interested in applying for one of these scholarships, and like we've seen throughout this afternoon, is obviously you have to make sure that you have a strong application. Of course, all of the processes are very competitive, but you can very much help yourselves if you've put in a strong application. And on occasion, we get students who haven't completed all of the forms. So obviously they're going to be under advantage and unlikely to get the scholarship compared to someone who's been able to complete the forms accurately. So it's very important to make sure that you follow whatever instructions you've been given. The other aspect as well is to ensure that you do not contact the Marshal Parpwoth Foundation directly, because they've delegated all of their scholarship applications to their partner institutions to do the initial screen. So myself and my colleague, when we have applications come into us, we'll look through them, and the best applications we then forward on to our colleagues at Marshal Parpwoth, and they will decide on who to offer the scholarships for. And so it is an academic process, but I would also stress that they look at a far more holistic approach than may first appear. Because although the academics need to be strong, having a strong commitment to self-improvement and how you're going to benefit your country when you go back home is equally important. So stressing those aspects in your application is going to be vital. Now, I also mentioned that if you are going to apply for a Marshal Parpwoth Foundation scholarship, that you do not apply directly to the institution and you follow whatever instructions are hosted by the home university. So you can go onto the Marshal Parpwoth website and that will direct you to the links to those other universities which I've mentioned. But in order to apply to Harper Adams, if you're looking at those courses I specified, what you can have is you can look at this link and see what's needed. Now, this is quite lucky in terms of the timing of this afternoon presentation, in that you will note that there's still 10 days open for you to make applications for this September. Now, that doesn't leave much time. And as you've already heard, that you need to spend a lot of time on your applications if you are going to have any success. So what I would suggest is if you click on the link and everything is looking quite strong already, then by all means, I'd encourage you to apply. However, if you haven't got time to complete the forms accurately and to a very high standard and do a speculative application, then obviously you're best to wait off until the following year. And so this will give you advance notice as to when that would be. So you can sort of think about, yes, this is for me. You can do a little bit more research as to which institution is best suiting your needs, and make sure that you can furnish your application and strengthen it for an application for 25-26. But as I said, because the application process is still open, it would be remiss of me not to actually highlight this. As I've mentioned as well, this is how we're operating at Harper Adams, whereas the other partners of Marshal Parpwoth may see things slightly different. In addition to that, what we have are the shortlisted applicants, as I say, which we then pass on to Marshal Parpwoth Committee, who will make the final decision after Easter. So it's a two-stage process, because quite often with scholarship applications, you have to apply to the university. And of course, that will be the same in this case as well. But because people's ability to come to the university is tethered to getting a scholarship, we have it as a two-stage process. So the initial screen is for us to sort of shortlist students for Marshal Parpwoth to consider. And when we've done that initial screen, at the same time, we'll be writing to the shortlisted people to say, please apply to Harper Adams, and we can include that in the application we send on to the committee. So please do bear that in mind, rather than just applying directly to the institution, because unless you can actually highlight and demonstrate you have funding, then obviously they will not be able to offer you a place. Now, the other key aspect, which I have to sort of strengthen and highlight, is the fact that you have to demonstrate a strong commitment to the agricultural sector and have relevant work experience. We've seen that with the other scholarships as well. There's a whole aspect that needs to be furnished in order to succeed. And that's really the take-home messages, really, is that we very much welcome applications, and we wish you very well in order to do so. As I say, I think with all of these scholarship programs, for the right people, they're wonderful opportunities, and somebody has to have these opportunity. And the very fact that you're come along to this meeting sort of shows that commitment and value to education, which is obviously so critical. So with that, I'll pass back to Mercy, and my apologies for not being fully conversant with the sharing system. So thank you.
Thank you, Mitch, for that presentation. So far, we've had the opportunity to hear from the Commonwealth scholarships through the presentation that we had, and what has come up is the scope that it covers and the long-standing relationship that it has with Africa and with Tanzania in particular, as well as with the Chevening. We've had an opportunity to hear from Edinburgh and the Mwalimu Nyerere Scholarship, as well as all the other opportunities that are offered at Edinburgh. We have come to know that it's a university that has some of the best research work. We've had a presentation on opportunities from Ireland, some of the best higher education institutions, the very unique opportunity for a mentorship program under the Mastercard Foundation, and now we've concluded with a agriculture-centric opportunity that is offered by Marshal Parpwoth. While this terminates our presentations for today, we still do have a session coming up, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank the people who are going to be speaking in the next few minutes in advance. They are some of the alumni and some of the students, scholars who currently are undertaking different education programs in the United Kingdom, who have agreed to share their experience and to tell us their testimonies and tell us a little bit about how they got here. We will be hearing testimony from a select number. We had a lot of them come up, but with due recognition that this is going to be one in a series of ongoing webinars like this one, we are going to be hearing from a few of them. Idi Yasin, Helen Mufwenki, Pepita Mwanga, Derek Kiwia, Aikael Gilead, Ruth Shaw, and Esther Ndeme. We would like to thank you for your courage and to welcome you to give your testimonials. Beginning with Idi.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Hope
Edie.
everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. Sorry for not sharing my video because I'm in a place where my internet connection is a bit in bad condition. So I worry that if I will share, the connection can be lagging and it cannot be well. Thank you. I want to introduce myself. My name is Idi Yasin. I am currently a Chevening scholar studying at the Birkbeck University of London, whereby I pursue Masters of Science in Sport Management. My brief background before being a scholar, back in Tanzania, I was admitted in the Bar Association of the Tanzania mainland as an advocate of the High Court of Tanzania since 2016. And I have been applying for Chevening Scholarship for 8 times since 2014 until when I was successful last year. So I want to share a bit of my experience, which I learned for the past 8 times when I was applying unsuccessful until I got it last time. There are few key things which I learned throughout my application processes throughout the time. First of that is being persistent to what you think and you believe that you have in the process of changing and providing positive change into your environment. I want to share this to the aspirants of Chevening Scholarship, that they should not be heartbroken when they got unsuccessful emails or unsuccessful responses. They should be persistent and should believe that they have to learn from what made them not to be successful at that time, and to build up a well and thorough, focused and clear application so that they can be successful at the next round. And also throughout my application process, also I learned a few lessons whereby I used to look on my previous essays and my previous applications to see where I went wrong, so that I could improve them and become successful. Thereby, afterwards, I used to network with a lot of scholars from different countries, not only Tanzania. The good thing is, when I was applying for Chevening Scholarship throughout the years, I amassed a lot of network from different scholars in different countries, starting from Tanzania to Kenya, Namibia, Uganda. So throughout my application processes, I went back to them and asked them for guidance, and I shared to them my applications so that they can rectify when they see something is not okay. So I took those feedback as constructive, and I put them into a well and thorough documentation, and continued to do my application as required. And also, one thing is that I used to grow up in my career so that when I could go back to do my application, the Chevening Secretariat could see that from the last time when I applied, now I have amassed a bit of skills, and also I go to a right direction. So the best thing to do after you have got an unsuccessful email or response is to keep on growing your career, so that you can gain something tangible to show in your application process. And one of the most important thing is to keep networking, because one of the things that Chevening wants is to promote network throughout the scholarship and scholars network, to learn from different people who comes from different social background. That is one of the most important things. And another thing is to be clear in your application process, to show your leadership potential, to show your vision and focus, because that is one of the most important things that Chevening Secretariat looks into a scholar. I think after that, you need to show that you have better skills to go back to your home country and to share what you have learned throughout your Chevening year, and to create a better future as you provided into a scholarship application. As for me, I did an application, and my current postgraduate course in sport management, because my career plan is that I want to become a football and sports agent when I complete my studies. So hopefully, with the network that I'm currently amazed, and the network which have already been presented to, I'm sure that when I come back in Tanzania in 2025 after my studies, I will make sure that everything that I showed in my application process, I will put it into use and being valuable to my country in sports industry. And by saying that, I'm open to each and everyone who is aspiring to do application for Chevening Scholarship in the future. If they seek any guidance and mentorship, I'm open to receive them and to offer my assistance and provide constructive feedback wherever I see that something should be put into right method. Thank you.
Bese unmute your microphone. Unmute your microphone.
Sorry. Technology challenges. Thank you, Kaka Idi, for your testimonial and for sharing your path to success. I would like now to request Dada Pepita to join us and share her experience.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you, Sophie. So, thank you very much, Mercy. And thank you for organizing this platform. And thank you to everyone who's taken the time to join. I'm not sure if you can see me as well because I've expanded my screen and I can't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So my name is Pepita and I am an alumna of the University of Edinburgh. I will begin with a brief intro and then share my experience at the University of Edinburgh, and then talk a little bit about applications. So I am a poet and I am a lawyer. I'm also in the bar just as Kakaidi is, but I'm also a development practitioner. I did a master's in Africa and International Development at the University of Edinburgh, the same degree that Sepiso did, the same degree that Dr. Hazel spoke about, and I was a recipient of the Julius Nyerere Scholarship, which has opened the door to a great opportunity, and I've had a wonderful experience at the University of Edinburgh. The scholarship opened doors for opportunities for me, and I can say that I really enjoyed my experience at the University of Edinburgh. The city itself is amazing. I think we heard about how some scenes of Harry Potter were shot in Ireland. Well, the Edinburgh Castle, I think, was the Hogwarts School inspired. The Edinburgh Castle inspired the Hogwarts School. And it's such a scenic city. You really feel like you're walking in the scene of a rom-com when you're in the streets. And yeah, but the weather is, it takes some getting used to. You'll definitely miss the Tanzanian sun, but yeah. So the university, in my experience here, it is, as Dr. Hazel said, very international, very diverse, offers a very big network of people, and it's all up to you if you choose to engage or not. So if you take advantage of the different opportunities, the many, many opportunities that the University of Edinburgh has to offer, it would be very advantageous. If you don't, then, I will talk a little bit about the work I currently do at the University of Edinburgh. I work at the Scholars Network, which is a program that supports students who are recipients of particular scholarships. For example, the Julius Nyerere Scholarship and 9 other scholarships that we are supporting, some of which are in the list that Dr. Hazel shared. And we offer support somewhat similar to what Sepiso shared and what AFOX does to their scholars. So it's not, receiving a scholarship is more than just receiving money, but you usually come into a city that maybe you've never been to before, and it's a big, complex institution, and there are many opportunities that you might not hear of if there is no network that could bring this to you. But also, because it's so big and diverse, it's so easy to get lost within these institutions. So to have support systems such as the Scholars Network is something that's very valuable, and all our scholars attest to the same. So we help scholars settle in, we check in on scholars, have one-to-one sessions with them, and organize events to bring scholars together. And so if you plan on coming to the University of Edinburgh, I'm pretty sure tutaonana, karibuni sana. But now I'll go on to talk about my application experience, and I've brought it last because in my position as an impact coordinator for the Scholars Network, I also have had the opportunity to review scholarship applications. So it was such a profound experience for me to be an applicant and then review applications. It's very interesting. So my application process, as almost everyone has said, you need time. You need a lot of time to write these essays. And if you don't invest time into writing these essays and application essays, it shows. Whoever's reading your essay can tell that this person probably didn't invest a lot of time in writing these essays. So although you've heard that many of the application deadlines are closed for the next school year, but they will reopen. And I echo what Sepiso said, you're at an advantage because you can start now. You can start reflecting. It's very important to think about what program that you're going to take. Network, just as Kaka Edie did, network and talk to other people who've taken the same program. See what it's about, because the description could be different from the actual experience, and it would be very beneficial for you to be able to talk to someone. You can use LinkedIn, you can contact people, just leverage the network that you have in order to help you get this support from different people. So you can use this time and you can reflect and you can think about what program you want to take, what university you want to go to, but also what city you would like to live in, because that matters a lot. For example, you heard how the Chevening Scholarship gives a higher stipend for students that are in London. There's a reason for that. London is a very expensive city, rather than the other cities in the UK. So you want to think about where you want to be, because that has a very big impact on your experience as a student and your experience settling in where you want to be. But also you do want to think about your transition. So with scholarships such as the Chevening Scholarship, the Commonwealth Scholarship, you have to go back home. But with scholarships such as the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship or the Julius Nyerere Scholarship, you don't have to go back home after you've completed your studies. So that's also something to think about. You can think about the weather, you can think about the community, a lot of things that you can think about that might influence the decision that you want to make. So I did think of these things, and I took a lot of time preparing my application, and I wrote my application, and I had a lot of people go through my application essays, and it went through many drafts before I was able to submit my applications, and I was able to get the scholarship and completed my degree. The MSc in African International Development is very rigorous, and master's degrees in the UK, if you didn't do an undergrad in the UK, if you didn't have the privilege of studying, because I know at home, some high schools do Cambridge system or maybe IB, which have some similarities. But if you didn't have the privilege of doing that, it's a very drastic change when you are exposed to the education system here. And you just need to mentally prepare for that. Especially at a postgraduate level, there might be a gap in between your undergrad and your postgrad, and you're not used to being a student, and yet you have to catch up with how rigorous the program is. And then at the same time, it's, the language might be a little challenging. It's not just language, it's accents as well. I'm in Scotland, and I tell you, sometimes I meet people who are speaking in English and it sounds like French, and it's just crazy. I know a lot of people have gone through, especially if you meet those native Scottish people. I can't have a conversation. I just don't understand. But that could be a challenge meeting, especially if it's diverse. You'll meet people from different places, and you have to listen out for people's accents, and you have to be open-minded and be able to interact and not just go in a shell. So now, I know I've diverted a little bit, but yes, the application process on the side of being a reviewer. I will talk just briefly about some of the common mistakes that I've seen in applications. Number one is not answering the question asked. So application essays usually want to get, especially for scholarships, they want to get to know you as a person. And questions will center about your aspirations, why you want to come here, or some questions would have very specific things that they ask for. And you will find that many times, and it's so heartbreaking because you'd read an essay and sometimes you find someone has answered the right thing for the wrong questions. Like this answer would have fit here, but it doesn't fit here. But you can't do that for an applicant once they've submitted it. Or you can see that if this person maybe just read or reread or had someone look at it, it would make a difference. So just whenever you're writing application essays, personal statements, first make sure you read and understand what they are asking for. Sometimes you'd read essays that really go on a tangent and they make you think, am I the one who, like, am I the one who's making the mistake? Am I reading the wrong thing? But sometimes you find someone gets carried away and they go off on a tangent and just really, really, really do not answer the question. And that will cost you, because you have to remember, when you're writing your essay and you're writing your application, it's you and your application. You feel like your application is the only one that's being submitted because you're not seeing anyone else's applications. But when I'm reviewing applications, I'm reviewing hundreds, maybe in the hundreds, like, of applications. And most times the reviewer doesn't even see your name, at least in the first stage. So they don't see your name, maybe a few details, but not indicating your identity. And there's no attachment. You're just another applicant. And that becomes, I mean, it's a process of, there's no emotion involved. This is the question, this is the scoring guide, this is the answer. If you did not answer within the scoring guide, then that's it. So you have to think that whoever's reviewing my application, just try to put yourself in the applicant's shoes. Whoever's reviewing my applications is probably reviewing several other applications. And the smallest of things could disqualify you because they're reviewing so many that they really have to long list and then short list. So any small thing could really cost you. So make sure you respond to the question, make sure you use proper English and grammar. There are AI tools that people make use of, and that is a curse and a blessing. So there's been an overuse of ChatGPT in in application essays. You won't be disqualified for using ChatGPT. But I can tell from my experience, the moment I come across an essay that's been written by ChatGPT, I know that this has been written by ChatGPT. It will not disqualify you, but the downside of using ChatGPT is that ChatGPT produces very generic essays. It will, like, there are just some keywords when you see, this is ChatGPT. I spearheaded this, words like that. And you can just tell the way it's been written, like you're interacting with AI. But no disqualification, you won't be disqualified. The thing is, when you write your essay with ChatGPT and you don't tailor it, ChatGPT is a tool. It's not what you write your essays. And you can use ChatGPT to help you start your essay. You can use ChatGPT to proofread your essay. But don't rely on it too heavily. You won't be disqualified, but you also won't stand out. You probably perform very average because you're providing very generic essays that really don't show who you are. And like I said in the beginning, scholarship essays, scholarship applications really try to get to know you. So if you use artificial intelligence, it will most probably not help us when reviewing get to know you, and that will cost you. I just lastly want to echo some of the things that have been said, is that make sure you leverage networks, make sure you speak to people, make sure you reflect on what it is that you want to do and the outcome that you want to get. Try to seek out people and talk to people that can help you. And don't be afraid to speak to people that you're not familiar with, that people can help. I mean, just think of this. The worst someone could say is no or not reply. That's it. But you could find someone that could help you, and that could make such a big difference in your application process. That could make a very big difference in your transition process. One thing I would like to highlight before I finish, and something you should think about, I think, is especially with the Julius Nyerere Scholarship, because the scholarship I received, is that it does cover, Dr. Gray said, does cover tuition and stipend, but when it comes to visa and flight costs, you're going to have to cover that on your own. So that's a cost that you have to think about. I think that's it from my side. If there are any questions, you can just drop them in the comments and we shall be able to respond to them. Thank you, Mercy. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Pepita. Can I now ask Haikaile Gilliard to speak? I know we could do this all evening, and for us in London, it's still in the middle of the afternoon, so but it's evening and getting late back home. I don't want to rush you, but we keep our presentations a little bit short.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you, Dada Messi. Sorry, my voice is a little bit coarse. I have flu. And as Dada Messi said, I'll try to be short and brief. My name is Haikaile Gilliard. I am a current Chevening Scholar at Swansea University, pursuing my MSc in Advanced Health and Care Management. By background, I'm a pharmacist and a curator / an artist manager. So I have three key things that I think for Chevening applications, applicants should take into consideration. First is the element of telling your story. And as Pepita has already echoed, the concept of people using ChatGPT and not being able to shine who they are, I would like to emphasize this because you are being reviewed based on the essays and later on based on your interview. So once you write the essays, to write your specific experience, to give your specific examples, and to show the link between your essays and why you're the right person to be selected for the Chevening Scholarship. And as we have already heard from different presenters, that Chevening Scholarship looks for leaders. So through the different 4 essays, you're supposed to demonstrate how are you being a leader and in what capacity and how are you doing that. So the second thing is clarity. So clarity here, it's a bit tricky in terms of like clarity of your current I would say current experiences and what you're looking forward to study, because there has to be a bridge. So for example, somebody has an undergrad in, let's say I'm a pharmacist and I'm a curator also. So I wanted to pursue my advanced health and care management. I can show the link there. And even if you're choosing another course, so for example, ED has a lawyer background and he wants to pursue sports management. So you have to demonstrate the link between your current undergrad degree and how the master's program is going to add and improve on that, and how is it going to be useful once you go back home. So there has to be a link and you have to demonstrate that clarity. And sometimes, as previous speakers have said, you can employ the use of your friends, you can employ other Chevening scholars. So on my side, this is the second time I've applied to Chevening Scholarship. The first time I ended up in reserve, and at the end I didn't get the scholarship. But two of my other colleagues I had applied with, they got the scholarship, and it was them who helped me to prepare the second application. They helped to do mock interviews with me. So please try and connect with other scholars. And I'm available through my LinkedIn, and I'm the same name, Kylie Gilead. If you can reach out to me, I can share a tip here and there. And lastly, but not least, own your story. So there's one thing with our Tanzanian culture, sometimes hatutaki kujisifia, tunaona aibu. We are so scared of sharing our achievements. So it's okay, because we want to know you are a leader. Own the achievements that you have done. Clearly state when you have done something, how you've led teams, how you have started different projects. Own it, because sometimes we shy away from sharing these things. And all the best. That is just my brief recap. Thank you.
Thank you, Haikaeli. Can I now call on Leah Musomba, a scholar from Ireland?
Hello, can you hear us? Hello?
Hey. Yes, we can hear you. I didn't expect both of you to be together.
Yes, so it's Renata and Leah. It just happened that we are in the same university, and we thought for the interest of time, maybe we can just give few hints about the scholarship we are in. Maybe I'll go first in few hints, and then Leah will come in for just 2 minutes. So my name is Renata Salamani, and I'm a beneficiary of the Irish African Fellowship Program, currently pursuing Masters in International Human Rights and Public Policy at the University College Cork. So we would like to extend our sincere appreciation to the Embassy of Ireland in Tanzania, but in general to the government of Ireland. Kwa kweli tunashukuru sana. This is a life-changing opportunity for all of us. Mimi nilivyokuwa ninakuwa, when I used to see opportunities of scholarship, I was among many people who thought like scholarships ziko for certain class of people, but please, anyone ambaye natusikiliza, dreams are valid, take your chances, and this is a life-changing opportunity. And so far we are enjoying our stay in Ireland. Shule ni nzuri, we are coping up, ingawa pia kuna changamoto za hali ya hewa, baridi kweli kama walivyosema wenzangu, hali ya hewa huku ni baridi sana, lakini we are coping up. Kwa kweli tunashukuru sana. Hizi ni opportunity ambazo personally sikuwahi kudhani kama naweza nikaipata, so I'm thankful. Kitu cha kusisitiza sana ambacho ningeweza kusema kwa wenzetu ambao mnatusikiliza, take your chances. Na hakuna zile narrative kwamba opportunity sijuzi kwa sababu ya watu fulani, pengine maybe kuna upendeleo, labda kuna something you need to give for you to get it. Hapana. Mimi, I can testify to that. I took my chances, and even when I was telling my friends or my colleague or my family that I've secured this opportunity, none of them believed me until the day when I was leaving Tanzania. And that's my call to action to all of you. Please take your chances and let's embrace everything, especially hizi fursa tunazozipata kwa sisi vijana. Ni chache ya kubadilisha na kuleta maendeleo nchini kwetu. Asanteni sana. So that's all I can say.
Yeah, my name is Leah Musomba, and I'm currently studying at the University College Cork, and I'm a beneficiary of Irish Fellowship Program. I'm studying Masters in Food Science at the University College Cork. So far, I can say that the experience is very good. I'm having a good time. Despite that, it's challenging. The course, especially the English, everything here. But so far, so good. I'm having a good time here. What I'd like to talk about, I'd just like to talk about a few things. What you need to prepare for the interview. That's the part I'm going to talk about. What you need, you just need to go through over all your application carefully from the first stage up to the third stage. Most interview questions will mostly come from application, like personal statement. I don't think they'll come outside that area. Brainstorm a list of possible questions and practice speaking. That's the issue. If you just speak confidently, because I know that everyone can if you decide. Brainstorm potential question in your major field of study.
Yeah.
Current ask question like sustainable development goals, because most this scholarship, Irish fellowship program, based on sustainable development goals. So what's your field of study? How does it match with the sustainable development goals? Go through the sustainable development goals. What you need to do and what you don't need to do. Don't be intimidated. Be confident. Believe that you can. Believe that when you have reached the interview stage, know that you are qualified and you can. Because not a lot of people get through the interview stage. There's a lot of mchujo tunasema kuanzia stage ya kwanza mpaka stage ya 3. Mchujo ni mkali. Kwa hiyo ukifika kwenye stage ya interview, wewe jiamini kwamba umeweza, and it's the last stage. Pia ask for clarification ifika kwenye interview room. Kama hujaelewa swali, make sure kwamba una ask or paraphrase or ask kwa namna nyingine. Make sure usikae kimya. Kama hujui, be honest kwamba I don't know about, kwa sababu hata mimi kuna swali niliulizwa nikasema I don't know about that. Kwa hiyo just be honest, usije ukadhani kwamba usipojibu ndio itakudisqualify. Hapana. Pia expect the unexpected. What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly,
what's the worst that can happen? Yeah. So after everything, just take your opportunity, guys. This mimi mwenyewe sijawahi zani kwamba nitakuja kuomba scholarship. This was my first scholarship and I got it. Sijawahi apply scholarship. Kwa hiyo I can say that I was lucky to apply scholarship for the first time, kwa sababu kuna wengi wameapply for so many years lakini wamekosa. Lakini I was lucky to apply for the first time na nikapata. Wewe jiamini, hakikisha kwamba you build yourself, hakikisha kwamba unajiamini, hakikisha kwamba kama wengine wameweza, pia na wewe unaweza. Usijidharau. Watanzania na wa encourage, kwa sababu naona Watanzania hawachukui, yani tupo nyuma sana. Hata ukiangalia huku hatupo wengi sana. Ukiangalia nchi nyingine, Nigeria, there are so many Nigerians, they take chances. Lakini Watanzania tupo nyuma. Mimi sijui kama ni uzalendo, lakini sio kama ni uzalendo. Let's do this for the benefit of our country. At the end of the day, we are the future generation. What we do here, tutapeleka nyumbani ili tusaidie nchi yetu. I'm a food scientist. I'm enjoying. The experience is mind blowing, because vitu ambavyo nimesoma nchini kwangu ni tofauti. Naona kabisa yani it's enjoying. I don't know how to express this, guys, but take your chances.
And we look forward kusaidia wengine wanaokuja huku kwa kweli. Maana tuko watatu tu kwa mfano hapa kwa hiyo sometimes you miss speaking Swahili. Please come more. We are ready to host you, to give you the hints. Please, if you apply, we are here to help. Let's just not take more time. Please, thank you so much, Madam Mercy.
Thank you, ladies, and thank you for the welcome. I hope people are listening out there and they'll take advantage of that. Can I please welcome Dada Ruth Shaw from the University of Oxford?
Oh, machua wengi.
Yeah, mimi naenda kulala.
Leah. You're still on. Can I welcome Dada Ruth Shaw from the University of Oxford? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for taking time to be here with us today. It's a wonderful opportunity to get to talk to people about higher education because I'm very passionate about it. My name is Ruth Shaw. I'm doing my PhD in African and African American history at the University of Oxford. And I work part-time for the Oxford Africa Initiative that Sepiso has already talked to you about. I'm going to be very brief, and I will be switching between English and Kiswahili just to make sure that the information reaches everyone. So the first thing that I would like to echo is what has already been said, that there is so much power in the uniqueness of your story. So the way that we talk about our experiences as Tanzanians is in a very humble way, and we very much cherish humility as a people, and I really appreciate that. But when it comes to talking about the experiences that you already have, you need to be able to make sure that you're conversing on a global scale. So kama ni kazi ulishawahi kufanya, uliwahi kuvolunteer mahali, zile fieldwork ulizofanya ukiwa mwanafunzi, jinsi ambavyo unatakiwa kuzielezea hizo, unatakiwa uzielezee kwa undani sana. In my experience, yani ukiangalia kwa mfano personal statement ya Marekani ambaye kwa mfano labda alispend miezi miwili Uganda, atakuelezea kwa undani mpaka utahisi kama huyu mtu alikaa miaka 5 Uganda, kumbe sio. So you have to know that your experience is extremely valid, and the way that you tell that story is also important in making sure that you stand out and that your application stands out. And I also want to say that education is one thing. So your grades is just one part of your application. Your extracurricular activities is an important part of your application. I know most of the Tanzanian youth nowadays are involved in one business, one entrepreneurship venture or the other. Talk about that. Talk about why that has influenced who you are as a person and as a scholar, and how that links to the kind of program that you want to be doing. And also, when you're choosing your course, you have to read very carefully the course pages, because yani unaweza kukuta kwa mfano masters inaitwa Masters in Sustainable Development, lakini kuna programs nyingi sana, kuna projects nyingi sana unaweza kuzifanya within that masters. Kwa hiyo kama umefanya chemistry, Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, si lazima ufanye Master of Science in Chemistry. Unaweza ukaingia kwenye Sustainable Development ukaangalia mambo kama even the beauty industry, how it's evolving in Tanzania. So unapoangalia kama hamna master's course inayosema Master of Science in Chemistry, usikate tamaa. Soma, angalia, wanaeleza a broad range of projects that they can coach. Kwa hiyo also email that faculty, email the department, tell them about the kind of project that you want to work on, the type of thing that you want to write in your motivation letter or your proposal, and they will be able to give you feedback. The other thing is that reach out to people, as you've already heard. Angalia kwenye hizo program courses websites zao, look at the current students, reach out to them. These are the people who can be able to give you the best advice because they have gone through the process themselves. And also, finally, I want to say that tusikate tamaa. I have worked with several people who they have sent me their letter of motivation or their proposal, and I did some edits here and there and said, look at this, you want to think about this. But wakiona zile corrections wanakatishwa tamaa kwa sababu wanaona kama nimekosea vingi hivi inamaanisha siwezi. But that's not true. That's not true. That's just how the process is. Mimi nikiangalia the first draft I had of my personal statement, mpaka nasikia aibu, maana ilikuwa mbaya. But the person who was coaching me did not give up on me. So if someone is taking time to advise you, na wewe pia weka juhudi. And pia kujua kwamba hizi scholarships zipo, na wewe unayesikiliza leo ndio wewe unayetakiwa kuzi-apply na kuzipata. Na pia hizi scholarships, sometimes it's a full scholarship, lakini it's not really full because we know that we come from different backgrounds, we have different responsibilities. So even when you get here, there are some lifestyle choices that you will have to forego. Kama ulikuwa nyumbani unapanda basi, unapanda Uber, you might have to walk to get on a bike. These are all things that you need to think about. Na pia kufanya kazi, you are able to work. Walioko Ireland wamewaambia kwamba mnaruhusiwa kufanya kazi, mtaka kuja UK mnaruhusiwa kufanya kazi. Mimi kama nilivyoeleza nafanya kazi together with Sepiso, who is my manager kwa Africa Oxford Initiative. So these opportunities are there. Think about them, take the time to go through your applications, reach out to people, and above all, believe that they're made for you. Amini kwamba hizi opportunities zimetengenezwa kwa ajili yako. Nashukuru sana. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruth. That was very enlightening. This discussion seems to have been dominated by women. So can I give the last opportunity for sharing testimonials to Derek?
Thank you. Thank you, Damasi. My name is Derek Kiwia. I'm a student at the University of Edinburgh. I'm studying Masters in Data Science. Before this, I used to work as a strategy consultant at Dalberg. It's a company based in Dar es Salaam. Also, before that, I used to work. I studied at the University of Dar es Salaam. I majored in actuarial science. So I'm a Chevening scholar. And I got Chevening through my first application. I think for me, one of the big things I would try to give out as an advice, don't take on what people say. That when I was doing my application, I was fortunate enough to get the Commonwealth Scholarship and the Chevening Scholarship, and then I decided to go with Chevening. But one of the things I do remember when I was applying was I was being told, like, huwezi ukapata, especially for the Commonwealth one. They were like, oh yeah, you have to go through the ministry. Hiyo ni kwa ajili ya watu wachache. Kuna wale ambao wameshaekwa pembeni. All I can say ni kwamba sio kweli, kwa sababu mimi ninachoamini ni kwamba ukiapply hautakatika mguu, you know. It doesn't cost you any money. So just cast your net out wide. So do the best you can. Give out different opportunities. You try. Nili apply Irish Aid, nili apply Commonwealth, Chevening, kuna the Belgium, like zilikuwa nyingi sana nilikuwa na apply. So my biggest advice ni kwamba just give it a try. Throw your cast your net out wide. You never know utapata wapi. So that was my first point. Nilitaka kusema kabisa hazipo kwa ajili ya watu wachache, ni kwa ajili ya kila mtu. Nilikuwa sina connections sijui wizara ya elimu, hapana. Just apply. Hizo myth ambazo ni kwamba sijui there for the select few, hapana. Na even tupo kwenye one of the dinner lunch we had kabla jaondoka Tanzania, we were told kwamba like we need more people to apply kwa sababu watu apply. Kwa hiyo unakuta sports bado zipo, opportunities zipo. Kwa hiyo ni watu wanatakiwa tu apply waweze kupata hizo opportunity. My second advice would be, kwa sisi wa Tanzania kuna ile tunapenda kusubiria mpaka last minute, ile dakika ya mwisho ile ndio tufanye application zetu. Hiyo sio nzuri. So my advice ni kwamba kama sasa hivi umetoka kupata Chevening, wame presentation, what is needed, Irish Aid, Mastercard, plan ahead. Mfano Chevening deadline ni November, mtu anasema ni mbali sana, lakini mpaka nakuja kushtuka mwezi wa 9 like nataka nifanye Chevening, natakiwa nianze kuandika essays. Kwa mtu anataka kufanya like everything in 1 month, kitu ambacho hakiwezekani. So anza mapema. Sasa hivi ni February, angalia what are the requirements za chuo, unataka kusoma masters gani, vitu gani unataka. Anza kufanya hivyo vitu kuanzia mapema, hata 6 months, 8 months, 1 month before. It helps a lot. Nilitaka kuapply Chevening mwaka jana, ila the same, nilikuja kukumbuka mwishoni deadline nikakosa, lakini ilivyofika this time nilivyopata ni kwamba like I started mapema. Na ukianza mapema unapata chance ya kama Ruth alivyosema, that you need to iterate multiple times. Huwezi ukaandika essay yako leo imekamilika. Mimi niliandika, unawapa watu, wanakupa feedback, wanakurudishia, unajaribu tena, you do it over and over again mpaka kuna muda sana unasema yes, hiki ndio chenye. Ukiangalia essay yako ilipoanzia na ilipofikia, unaona kweli yani kuna mabadiliko, lakini it takes time. Kwa inabidi uanze hizo application, kwanza kuandaa vitu gani wanataka mapema. Work, kama mfano Chevening wanasema wanataka 2 years work experience. Haimaanishi kwamba forget about it mpaka after 2 years, no. As you angalia the type of work that you're doing, volunteer work, like anza kuplan even a year ahead, 2 years, it's not bad. The earlier you plan, the better. And then kingine I would give an advice would be fanya research kwenye your career path na your program. Kuna mwingine ana apply UK, anauliza nataka kusoma course gani? Anasema to you, let's say data science kama mimi. And then anauliza okay, ukimaliza nataka kuwa nani? It's like I'll look when I know. So that's very haitakiwe hivyo. Unatakiwa like when you present it in your argument, hata kwenye the essays you write, unamwambia mtu kwamba I want to do 1, 2, 3 na after finishing my studies I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. So I think you need to plan your career. Na hivyo vitu you can't do it on your own. You have to talk to people. That brings me to my next advice ni kwamba do your best, tafuta watu ambao wamesoma, kaa nao, waliosoma scholarships, Chevening kama sasa hivi alumni wapo wengi. Mimi kilichonisaidia mpaka nikaweza kupata ni kwamba I reached out to watu wengi walinisaidia. Kuna Salvatore, kuna Brighton, kuna Paul Mpoko, like all these things ni kwamba viliwezekana kwa sababu you reach out kwa wale watu, mtu aliyekutangulia amekutangulia siku zote kwamba ameshafanya hiyo scholarship, kwa anajua kitu gani kinahitajika. Kwa you reach out to them, wanakupa ushauri. You reach out to them, watu ambao wako kwenye career path unaotaka. It's easy. LinkedIn, unauliza, you network with people, wanakupa like ideas. Okay, yeah, kitu fulani, it's better you talk to someone. Those people wanakusaidia within your family, hata outside of the family, shuleni, in the universities. You can even reach out to people on LinkedIn. Those people do give you a lot of help na wanakusaidia ku make it like hata unavyoenda kwenda mbele za watu kwenye scholarship, ukiulizwa kwa nini tukupe hiyo scholarship, unampa mtu a detailed plan, unaona okay, huyu mtu anaelewa anachotaka kukifanya. So that's the biggest advice I would give. Lakini yeah, I think those are the big advice I would say. Kingine, maybe the last one would be do a bit of research kwenye your universities. Ujue ni sehemu ni gani unayoenda, ikoje. Mfano kwa nini let's say umepata chuo London, umepata chuo sijui Edinburgh, kwa nini uchukue Edinburgh, kwa nini uchukue London? Lazima uangalie hivyo vitu, ukae chini na watu anza kuongea na wewe, wakupanue wigo wako, wakufikiri kwamba okay, London ndio ni mji mzuri, lakini kwa unachotaka kusoma chuo fulani ndo bora zaidi. Kwa like hivyo vyote ni vitu ambavyo unatakiwa vifikirie. Lakini all in all, mimi naweza ngasema ni kwamba apply. I would give and encourage a lot of people, apply as much as you can. It is really important that you do that. It helps. It helps you, give you an opportunity to experience. Kwa hiyo mimi nachosema ni kwamba you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So yeah, so that's all I can say. Yeah, let me hand it over back to you, Damase.
Thank you very much, Derek, and all of you for sharing your experiences. They were very invaluable. And thank you for it's not very easy to speak about your path to where you got, particularly since most of you are sharing that you had to do it more than once. Would like to now welcome Ubalozi before we close, to basically recap and help us run through what we have done successfully so far. Karibu mheshimiwa.
Well, Messi, asante sana na kushukuru kwa nafasi hii. Hii ni kubwa zaidi, na mshukuru mheshimiwa waziri ambaye ameshiriki kwenye kufungua semina yetu, lakini na mkurugenzi wa elimu ya juu, na mshukuru sana kwa kushiriki kamilifu. Lakini nitoa shukrani kwa wawakilishi wa hizi taasisi zinazotoa ufadhili kuanzia Commonwealth Council, Chevening Secretariat, Marshal Parpwoth mwakilishi wao, Mastercard Foundation, lakini wawakilishi wa vyuo wa Edinburgh University, Oxford University. Kwa kweli nyote nawashukuru sana kwa kutoa mada ambazo zimetufungua macho watu wengi. Kuna mambo mengi mmeyazungumza ambayo kwa kweli yametupa mahala pa kuanzia inapokuja kwenye swala la kutafuta fursa za ufadhili wa masomo. Lakini kubwa, nawashukuru sana Watanzania wenzetu waliojitokeza kutoa testimonial wa wanafunzi na waliokuwa wanafunzi. Wote wameeleza mambo mazuri sana ambayo yametufungua macho, na naamini yamekuwa na manufaa kwa vijana ambao wana dhamira ya kuomba scholarship siku za mbeleni. Ujumbe mkubwa hapa ni kwamba inawezekana. Ili ufanikiwe kuomba scholarship, linawezekana. Hauhitaji kumfahamu balozi, huhitaji kumfahamu afisa wa balozi, huhitaji kumfahamu waziri wa elimu, hauhitaji kuwa tajiri. Ni wewe tu, uwezo wako na kujiamini. Lakini la pili kubwa limejitokeza hapa ni watu kujiandaa. Unajua masuala haya yanataka uyape muda, usikurupuke tu zibaki siku mbili ndio unaandika insha unakimbizana. Lakini ukishaandika kwa wakati unampa na mwingine anatizama ili ujiridhishe. Hiyo ndio namna bora ya kufanikiwa. Lakini message nyingine kubwa nimeiona hapa ni kutokata tamaa. Nafahamu kwa mfano wiki hii watu wengi wameanza kupokea majibu ya kutoka Chevening, na wengi hawajafanikiwa. Kuna wachache ambao wamenitumia ujumbe, balozi, jitihada hizi nimefanya zimeshindikana. Naambia jamani, msikate tamaa. Yasini hapa ameelezea ameomba mara 7 zote amekosa, kaja kupata ya 8. Kuna mwingine hapa ameeleza ameomba mara 2 kapata ya 3. Mwingine kaomba mara ya kwanza kakosa, ya pili kapata. Kuna wengine wanapata moja kwa moja. Kwa hiyo msikate tamaa. Unapoomba ukikosa, unajipanga upya, unaomba tena ili kuweza kufanikiwa. Kwa hiyo niwatie moyo Watanzania wote ambao mna dhamira ya kuomba nafasi za ufadhili, msisite kuomba zinapotangazwa, na Mwenyezi Mungu akijalia basi unafanikiwa na wewe unaweza kupiga hatua kutimiza ndoto yako. Nimalizie kwa kuhakikishia kwamba ubalozi utaendelea kutoa elimu kwa umma kuhusu fursa za scholarship. Tutaendelea kushirikiana na wadau wetu wote hao ambao walikuwepo leo ili tuweze kuzungumza zaidi, na pengine naona kuna watu wengi wanafunzi walikuwa tayari kutoa testimonial, lakini muda haukutosha. Pengine Mese tuta-arrange wakati mwingine mwezi Mei huko session mahususi ya watu wa testimonial tu wa kuzungumza na wanafunzi ili waweze kuelewa, kushare experience zaidi. Watapata nafasi ya kuongea kwa lugha ya Kiswahili ili tuelewane vizuri zaidi, ili hatimaye malengo yetu ya kuwa na idadi kubwa ya Watanzania ambao wanaomba scholarship na wanafanikiwa iweze kufanikiwa. Kwa hiyo mimi baada ya maelezo haya machache niwashukuru sana kwa nyote kwa kukaa nasi zaidi ya masaa 2.5 kwa ajili ya session hii, na niwatakie kila laheri, na ni matumaini yangu bwana kwamba mwaka huu idadi ya maombi ya scholarship za Tanzania itaongezeka na watakaofanikiwa hatimaye wataongezeka zaidi. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Balozi, washiriki wote wanaotusikiliza na tulioko nao kwenye Zoom hii. Nawashukuru sana kwa niaba ya wenzangu na kwa niaba ya balozi tena kwa kujumuika nasi. Tunatarajia kuwa na session nyingine kama alivyosema Mheshimiwa Balozi siku za usoni, na specifically another session in September. Niwatakie jioni njema na kila la heri.
Asante. Hope you are going to share the slides.
Yes, we are going to share the slides. We also have received a series of questions that have been submitted. We are going to respond to those, and we are going to post all the responses after consultation with our many partners. And it's a little bit remiss of me, but I have forgotten to thank our partners, Clouds Media, who have been with us all this time. We know they usually have other programs and commitments. We appreciate it, and we hope watatusikiliza next time tukigonga tena milango yao kuomba msaada wa kufikisha taarifa kwa watu umma wa Tanzania.
Tunashukuru sana Clouds FM na Clouds Media Group kwa kazi nzuri mliofanya ya kutangaza kipindi hiki. Asanteni sana.
Asanteni sana na jioni njema.
Asante sana, kila la heri. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.